The current Burmese government, which called itself the State Peace and Development Council, is more accurately known to the world as the military junta.
We're working to turn the international outrage into increased pressure on the regime to move in a positive direction. We're coordinating closely with the British, the French, and other like-minded partners. We're reaching out to the ASEAN nations, whose foreign ministers issued an unprecedented statement last week directly criticizing the regime and urging the kinds of political reforms we have been seeking. We're also fully committed to having Burma remain an active issue for the UN Security Council. We get as much international pressure on the regime as possible, and that involves heavy diplomacy, and it's slow. We can't go to China today or India or anyone else in the region and say, impose sanctions and expect it to happen tomorrow. This is really hard work. 10 deaths. The true number of fatalities is likely many times that number. China probably has the most influence in the regime. While we have indications that Beijing has been quietly pressing junta leaders to exercise restraint and was helpful in facilitating UN Special Envoy Gambari's visit and meetings this week in Burma, we think China can and do more. We have been pressing, and we will continue to press Beijing to do more.
These generals in the junta, the killing has to stop. And China needs to make it clear that it's unacceptable that those monasteries have been cleared of monks, that people have been loaded into trucks and driven off into God knows where.
This ASEAN is now working on a new charter.
Now, military junta claim that the situation in Burma has returned to normal. It is true that over 20,000 soldiers roam the streets of Rangoon. Their brutal and merciless actions and massive arrests have made it too difficult for people to stage protests in the streets. But this is not the end of the story. People of Burma have stopped protests for the time being, while they transform the protests into another style. They will treat their wounded colleagues, they will search for missing members of their families, they will regroup, and they will come back again with stronger force. I believe that the military junta will not be able to kill the spirit of the Saffron Revolution. Democracy will prevail in Burma.
Welcome, Tom.
Thank you so much, Senator. Now, Burma's leaders, their relatives, their financial partners do a lot of their business through a country that no one has mentioned today yet, and that's Singapore. They bank in Singapore, they shop in Singapore, they get their health care in Singapore. Focused, aggressively enforced financial sanctions could shut down their ability to do so, not only denying them potential wealth in the future, but denying them access to the wealth that they currently have and use to sustain their government and their very lavish lifestyles. The last time that the Burmese people came out like this.